Hi, I'm going to show you how to write a simple program for your LEGO Mindstorms EV3 robot. Once you get into a computer, you should see the LEGO Mindstorms EV3 icon, either probably on the bottom of your screen. I have mine on the side. Go ahead and double click on that. It'll take a couple seconds for it to open up. Okay, so once you get to this screen, this is the home screen for the LEGO Mindstorms EV3. Alright, so you've already built your robot at this point, and I'm just going to show you how to build a basic program for your robot. What a program is a set of commands that you give to your robot. Okay, so I'm going to just start a program from scratch. So I'm going to hit that plus button, add project. Okay, so here is where my programming is. Off to the side here, you'll see some tips that you can do. I'm not going to pay attention to them right now, so I kind of want to get this out of my way. So I just click on that, and it's gone. Okay, so this is where I'm going to put my program. Anything I attach to this will be part of the program. So we're going to build a simple program that we have the robot go forward. Then we're going to tell it to turn around, and then we're going to tell it to come back. All right, so down below, we've got the medium motor, which we do not have on our robot at this point in time. We've got one large motor, but if you look at your robot, you actually have both motors controlling the wheels. So we need to go over to the next one where it's got the two motors. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to drag it, and I'm going to attach it to the program. All right, so now the first command is to go forward. So we have a few choices we have to make. The first one is we're going to set our motors on for so many rotations. We have some options here. We could do on for rotation. That means the wheel's going to spin around once if we set it for one rotation. On for degrees, that one's a little different. I don't really use that one very often. The one I use the most is on for seconds. That's just a little easier for me to understand. So I'm going to set it to go forward for a certain number of seconds. Okay, this next part here, if we want him to go forward, is steering. Now, if we wanted him to turn left or turn right, we could change that right now. But for our first command, it's just to go forward. So we're just going to leave that alone. Okay, this next one affects the power. So its default is 75. That's what, when you did the sample program, that's what it was running at. If you wanted to make him a little bit faster, you could bump it all the way up to 100. Or if you wanted him to go backwards, you could go to down to any of these negative values. But for our program right now, we want him to go forward. So we'll have him go forward pretty quick at 100. Okay, so right now we've got him going straight, full speed. Now we've set it for seconds. So now here's where we decide, okay, well, how many seconds do we want him to go forward for? So let's say 3 seconds. Change it to 3. Okay, and this next part is, okay, so after he goes forward full speed for 3 seconds, do we want him to push the brakes or do we want him to kind of coast? And generally, if you are going to give him another command after, you generally don't want him to hit the brakes. Otherwise, if you hit the brakes after every movement, it gets a little jerky. So I'm going to turn the brakes off. Okay. A thing to check up here just to be sure, make sure both of those motors are plugged into B and C, which is where the instructions told you to put them. So your robot should have them already in B and C. Okay, so right here, I've built the basic, I've given him one command to go forward, full speed, for 3 seconds. Okay, so now we want him to turn around. Okay, so I'm going to get that same block, because we need both motors. Well, we don't actually need both motors, but for the way I'm going to do it, we do. Okay, and again, we're going to go back to seconds for this. Now we want him to turn. Now this is one we'll have to probably run it a few times to get the right exact turn, because we'll have him turn, I don't know, let's say 46, then we'll have him go full power. Okay, now how many seconds is it going to take to completely turn 180 degrees around to face us? I have no idea. So I'm just going to guess, let's say 2 seconds. And then we'll go, okay, hit the brakes or coast. We're going to coast, and then B and C. Okay, so when we run this program, we may find that 2 seconds is too much and it's facing a different direction, or it's not enough. So once we run this, we may come back and have to play around with this number a little bit. You could even do, if you wanted to do a decimal, 2.5. You could do 2.1. So there's lots of ways that we can tweak it. Right now, we'll just leave it at 2. Okay, so we've given it 2 commands. We've told it to go forward 3 seconds. We've told it to turn for about 2 seconds. So we are assuming that our robot turned 180 degrees and is now facing us. So we need to give it its last command, which is to come back. So it's actually probably going to be a mirror image of this, because we want it to travel as far as it traveled in 3 seconds to return to us. So we'll just go back. Change on for seconds, that, 100 power, 3 seconds. Now this is the last command I'm going to give, so I do want him to go ahead and hit the brakes. All right. So this is a simple program. It's got 3 steps. We are giving the robot the command to go forward, turn around, and come back. So we've put it into a language that the robot can understand. So at this point, you've got the USB cord that you need to plug into your computer, and then the other end needs to go into your robot. You need to make sure your robot is on, and we need to download the program, because right now the program's only here on my computer, and we need to send it to the robot. Okay, once those are plugged in, now I don't have my robot with me, nor do I have the cord, so, but once you do have this will kind of come a little darker, and it'll not be shaded like this. But once that happens, you've connected, you should be able to push this button, and then it'll wait a couple seconds, then your robot should make a little beeping sound, and that'll let you know that the program has gone from here into your robot. And if you go into the robot, find the program name. Oh, actually, before we download, we probably should give our program a different name. So let's go ahead, go up to File. No, I don't think this is recording. Okay, let's go up here, go up to File, Save Project As. Okay, so this way we're going to give it a different name other than project. And we'll just say test and save. So if you look here, this we want to replace. Okay, so we look up here, we've renamed it. So now we'll download it. Download it again, and you'll look on your robot. You should see under programs, you should see test on there. So go ahead and click on that, and then click down to the program, run, and click on it, and it should run the instructions we gave it. Now robots cannot make choices on their own, so it's only doing what we told it to do. So again, you may have to come back and play around with this number to get him to do exactly what we want him to do. But other than that, that's how you program the robot. Thanks.